Algebra 2, set 88A, the distance formula. Okay, you can see from my badly drawn diagram that this is the Pythagorean theorem, which basically states if you have a right triangle, the sides of the triangle squared are going to equal the hypotenuse squared. So 4 squared plus 3 squared is going to equal 25, or 5 squared, which is 25. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem today as we discover what the distance formula is and find the distance between 2 points. So first problem, find the distance between 4, -4 and -2, 3. So the first thing that you can do is graph those 2 points, draw a line between them, and then make your triangle. Now what we want to do is we want to figure out what A and B are so that we can find C. So the distance of A is going to be 6 and the distance of B is going to be 7, and then we need to figure out C. So 6 squared plus 7 squared equals C squared. C squared equals 85, and C is the square root of 85. Okay, so now we're going to figure out the general formula. That is, if we don't have numbers, how do we figure it out? So you have 2 points, x1 and y1 and x2 and y2, and we need to find the distance between those. So if you remember, we need to find the distance between y, and the way that we find that is y1 minus y2. And then we need to find the distance between the x's, which is x1 and x2. Then we need to square both of those to find the distance squared. We need to add those two, and then the last step after we add them is we need to take the square root to find the distance. So the distance is equal to the square root of y1 minus y2 squared plus x1 minus x2 quantity squared. So you can get the distance formula 2 different ways. You can either do x1 minus x2 or x2 minus x1. And you can do y1 minus y2 or y2 minus y1. The only thing that you can't do is switch them up. So if you do x1 minus x2, you can't do y2 minus y1. So let's do an example. Use the distance formula to find the distance between 4, -2 and -5, 3. This time we don't need to graph it because we have our 2 points. We have x1, y1, x2, and y2, and we just plug them into the formula. So 4 minus -5, quantity squared, plus -2 minus 3, quantity squared, and then we just simplify. 4 minus -5 is 9, square that, and -2 minus 3 is -5. -5 squared is 25. So 81 plus 25 is 106, and the distance is the square root of that.